Freddie the Freeloader. Freddie, 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 Freddie. Freddie, 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 Freddie. Oh no, the second ending's different. Freddie. B-flat blues scale is one of the harder ones, I think, to get under your fingers on the piano. And I think I have changed my fingering on several blues scales recently. The B-flat blues scale works best with 3 fingers, at least in my current thinking. So, right there, if you try to do it like that, then you put thumb here, you gotta use another finger, then you don't have 4 fingers left for those 4 black keys. So that's why that fingering is a little bit difficult to deal with. So by putting your thumb on a black key, you could probably find some other patterns that work here too. I think it might be a good idea to learn to play this scale with your thumb on a black key. And I was also thinking that having more than one fingering for these blues scales will help you expand your vocabulary in terms of what you can play with the blues scale. All right, so we got the B-flat blues scale. Could we use any other blues scale in this song? You know we can. So the 4 chord. How about the E-flat blues scale, since we're playing an E-flat chord? Well, it can't sound too terrible. If B-flat blues scale sounds good with the B-flat 7th chord, then E-flat blues scale has got to sound at least okay with its chord. But I'll tell you, it doesn't really fit very well into the blues. If you use it really strong as a motif, it'll work. Like if I did a blues like this, I said, all right, really using it as a motif there. And then an E-flat. But I think if you're just improvising along, you have to be a little more careful about it, and I would tend to avoid that scale. Now, the 5 chord is a different story. When you get to the 5 chord, it's pretty close to the B-flat blues scale, so it works a little bit better. So in B-flat, see, it doesn't sound too bad, but where it really sounds pretty good is over the 5 chord. That sounds pretty characteristic of the blues to my ears. So on the 4 chord, the E-flat chord, let's just stick to our B-flat blues scale, okay? But when we get to the 5 chord, all right, and of course it only lasts that one measure, then we're on to E-flat again. So we'll go back to the B-flat blues scale. But I think at least where this scale works the best is when you're playing the 5 chord. And it doesn't sound like you're changing, modes too drastically here. It still sounds pretty bluesy. Especially if you get right back to that B-flat blues scale when you're supposed to. All right. Now, is there any other blues scales we could use? Absolutely. There's another one that's really important, and that's the G blues scale. All right. You might be thinking, what's that have to do with this key? But check it out. G blues scale, okay? sorry. And this is another scale. I think I've just changed my fingering on a little bit, or at least I have a better alternate fingering now. So hopefully this will improve my G blues playing. My new fingering is this, by the way, if I can remember what it is. It's another 3-finger thing. Typically do it like this. And there's a lot of good riffs that got to use that fingering. But if you have this fingering too, you're going to come up with some different shit there. All right, but anyway, we're talking about the B-flat blues, not the G blues. All right, so B-flat. If you use that blues scale, you'll find that it has a B-flat in it, right? Right, it has B-flat in it. Also has these 3 notes, and this is also very characteristic of the blues, because after all, the blues is, at its essence, a major chord, with a minor third kind of stuck there onto it. And that clash is what gives the blues its kind of unique sound. And it's kind of, I'm thinking about it in terms of a piano player, but it goes back to bending the notes when you're singing. If you listen to old blues recordings, they don't sing exactly that all the time. There's lots of little, while they're bending their notes, and they're bending them through the cracks, and sometimes hitting some kind of odd sounding melody notes. But check it out, old blues. Go listen to like Robert Johnson.